How is it going, YouTube? So it is another day and another Turtles video to add to the other videos of Turtles videos. So as always, this is Game. I am trying to do a video a day for 365 days, which is a year. To show off pieces from my collection, just to try and bring you guys the awesome, feel-good, nostalgic vibes, and hopefully you can kind of trigger off memories and relive bits of your childhood. I'm not really talking about the pieces as such, but more probably the memories that I have of them. I think there's probably a lot of people out there that will do exact details on these, such as the year they were produced and all sorts of interesting facts. These aren't really about that. These are more just showing off pieces and reminiscing on how they came to be and what they mean to me. But if you think that's something you want to get behind, I would absolutely love you to like and subscribe these videos and follow along on this journey with me, because I've got so many different pieces to show you guys from the 60s up to today, and yeah, all sorts of things from toys, annuals, sticker albums, all sorts of different pop culture pieces, VHS, and cinema posters as well. I've got a fairly eclectic collection. But today is all about Krang. Ooh, Shredder. I don't know if that was a good impression or not. But it was what I always used to do when I was a kid, and I was playing with this. I always used to try and replicate Krang's voice, and yeah, I really liked him. You can see that obviously all of his accessories hopefully are there, and this is obviously all legit. This is original. This is a Hero Turtles one. Like I've said in previous videos, I was a bit of an odd kid. I used to lift the bubbles so that they were a flap, essentially slide out the figure, play with it, and then I would put it back in when I wasn't playing with it. And obviously, again, this is an unpunched one. I don't know how, but I seem to end up with quite a lot of unpunched Turtles figures from back in the day. Almost, it's one of those that I'm kind of torn with now, in the fact that you kind of regret opening them because you know that they would just look gorgeous on the bubble without the card being removed, but at the same time I wouldn't have got the memories that I've got from playing with them if I had have left them on the card. So yeah, one of those. Maybe for you dads out there, if you're buying your kids toys and you've got the funds for it, maybe buy them two. Buy them one that they can open and play with, and one that you don't tell them about and stick in a box, and then maybe in years to come you can kind of give it to them as a surprise. But this is one of the newer figures. Obviously it wasn't one of the original 10. My remembrance of this, so I had a friend, really close friend, who equally loved Turtles as much as I did when I was a kid. We used to have different figures. We'd get together and we'd play with them together. He'd have his figures, I'd have mine. And I remember him going to, I can't remember if he went to America or if a family member went to America, but I remember him bringing back two figures. He brought back this one, and he brought back Baxter Stockman. And at the time in the UK, we did not have this figure. It wasn't available. And I remember seeing that and Baxter, and my mind was just completely blown. I was like, oh my God, bring it over. And so he brought them over, and we had loads of fun playing around with these figures, and yeah, making all sorts of scenes and battles and all sorts of different things with them. And I remember just being really jealous of oh my God, why haven't we got these in the UK? And then sure enough, not long after, I can't remember how many weeks it was. It certainly wasn't immediately, but not long after, they were released in the UK, and I was absolutely over the moon. And I managed to obviously talk my mum and dad into treating me to some of the figures from the line, over the course of however long. Like most kids, these were pretty much bought for me for sort of Christmases, birthdays, or if you managed to save up enough money, they were sort of at the bought at those times. I didn't always get, I think sometimes I got pocket money, but I didn't always get pocket money. So sometimes if I did certain chores and things, I could get a figure. But it was probably very typical for what a lot of sort of kids in the 80s and 90s did, if they were if their parents were sort of that way inclined. So yeah, so that was my memory of it, and like I say, I was really over the moon to get it. Obviously this is a UK Hero Turtles one. You can see it's got the foot stamp on it, and very much newer card backs to the to the older 10-back cards. Obviously, you can see the Bandai logo and the Playmates logo. And again, I just love the artwork. I think Rat King looks great. Baxter looks great, and you've got Krang obviously down in the bottom here with the Krang sticker written on the thing. Now the card is still attached. Obviously, like I say, it was lifted because it was a flap so that I could take it out, but it is all there. And it is in lovely shape. I mean, again, you very rarely see these like this, certainly on hero card backs. But yeah, I really, really like them. Obviously, the bio card is starting to look a little bit more like the newer ones. And you've obviously got a larger number of figures. So I can't remember what back this is, but how many have we got? Let's count them out. So we've got 3, 6, 9. And then we've got 4, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 20 back, that's what I make it. Which, yeah, is pretty cool. And obviously they've split them out, so they've got the turtles, the heroes on one side and the villains on the other. And obviously on this card back, it introduces some of the other characters. So we've got Ace Duck, we've got Genghis Frog, we've got Casey Jones, who again was another figure that I really, really liked. Usagi Yojimbo, Metalhead, Splinter, April O'Neil, and then we've got the 4 brothers. And then we have got Bebop, Foot Soldier, Rocksteady, Splinter, but in addition, we have now got Rat King, General Trag, Leatherhead, Baxter Stockman, and Krang. I think Trag was probably one of the few that I didn't have. I also didn't have Leatherhead. Now I do have him now loose, but I didn't have him as a kid back in the day. I also didn't ever bother with Usagi, actually. Again, I do have him now, but never really had him as a kid, or at least I don't recall having him as a kid. I might have picked him up later, maybe when I swapped him with a friend or something like that. But that is it. That is my Krang in all his glory from the Hero Turtles line way, way back in what would have been probably 1989. Slash maybe 1990. I'm going to go with 89 still, I think, but maybe you guys can let me know what year this hit the UK, or maybe I'll Google it and I'll stick it in the comments. But that is it for now. Thank you for following along, and do please like and subscribe, and hopefully I will see you tomorrow for another one.